What's up, people?
Hi guys.
Welcome
to the
to
Shrine Podcast.
Why didn't you share? Why didn't you share, Congo?
We're supposed to rhyme now. Welcome to the Shrine Podcast.
Well, we don't have to recite it together.
Okay.
Anyways, welcome guys to the Shrine Podcast. As you know, this is the safe space to talk about any and everything.
Yeah.
Bants with a hint
A little bit of seriousness.
a dash of seriousness, as Jemima likes to put it. My name is Akindare.
And I am Jemima.
Yeah, so welcome to the show. What do we have on the menu today?
So today we're going to be talking about religion.
Mm-hmm.
So we've tagged it religious
Touchy.
nonsense, basically.
Well,
Yeah.
they'll see that from the they'll see that from the title. Like,
So we're going to be talking about religion, the different aspects of it, how Nigerians embrace religion and Nigerians too religious, and then just generally everything that has to do with religion.
so basically, what we are hacking to death today is religion.
It's religion,
right?
yes.
Okay.
It's
You know,
religion.
I always say it's often why? Because I know
It's religion.
Well, I'm just kidding. But before we
Yeah.
dive into it, though,
Yep.
how was your week?
My week was good. Last week was my last week in my current place of work, so so it was pretty dope. Why you raz?
Hey,
So yeah, it was pretty good.
what can I say?
It was a decent week basically. Nothing spectacular really happened. Yeah.
Except, it was your last week at your...
Yes. And then
You got
the
the
send
send-off.
forth.
Send
Yeah.
forth.
Send forth.
Is it send forth or send forth?
Send forth. And it was really
Send
interesting. It was nice to hear people talk about the work that I do, my personality. There's some things that
People
you
talk
do.
about or what you really desire, what is really busting your bubble in the whole thing is that they are hailing you.
No. I mean, yeah, there's that now, obviously. Obviously, there's that, but I'm just saying, there's some things that you do, like that you don't even know that people take note of, but people actually do take notice of it, and like you just do it, just because that's the person you are. So it was nice to hear a lot of interesting things
What was one
said
thing
about me.
What was one thing that you did not see coming that you got asked, that somebody said?
That somebody said that of all, and this is somebody who has worked like in different places and all of that. So the person said, of all the places and all the people you have had to work with, I am the one that is like the best team player. Like, and it's interesting because me, I like to think that when we have like a teamwork, I like to carry it on my head. Because
boyaka.
partly because you know when you were in school, right? And
So they play that 9, like, I know you won't get this reference, but they play top 9.
what
Have
I
you?
do?
It's
What
a
I
football reference.
Oh, God.
It's
Fuck you.
It's so fun to see your coolest face right now. But yeah.
So oh shit, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, team player. You're
Yeah,
very
so
team player.
yeah, exactly. So when you're in school, when you guys have group work, and you basically know that these people will not do the work, so you have to now do it yourself. Do you understand? So I had that sense. So I like to just basically do stuff. I try to bring them in, but
Like all those like root tabako cool type situation.
I'm so. What are all these ridiculous references, bruh?
Hey, I'm just trying
Anyways,
to confirm,
it was interesting.
man.
That was my week. How was yours?
Mine was good. Shout outs to the holiday on Wednesday. Holidays are my new thing now. Like I fuck
Your
with
new
holidays.
thing. Holidays have
Heavy.
always been the thing.
I mean, yes, but like it's like now, like I care more about holidays than I used to. So yeah, it was a pretty okay week. It was a decent week. I had a bit of a scuffle. A situation arose at work yesterday that was interesting. But all in all,
Oh, so you're not going to talk about the situation that was interesting? If it was that interesting.
no, not really. I wrote an article. The bosses didn't like it. They thought I was quote unquote sharing company information,
All right.
which I suppose they do have a point, even though it's not like I just went out there and said, bam, this company information, or like, there was nothing that tied the company directly to what I wrote, but they had a point. So I had to take down the article. So that was that. It was weird, but because they were like
Weird because you
all
have to-
like they all had like their panties in a bunch about it and stuff. Like I spoke with my direct boss, and it wasn't a big deal. Like there was no fallacy in the article I wrote. Like everything I wrote, there was factual, right? But just because I said, "Oh, I work at this kind of place," and in interacting with this kind of places, customers, I noticed this fact about Nigeria and Nigerians as a whole. That was basically the whole point of that. So that work connection is what they had an issue with. I didn't really. It's fine.
Have you thought about how you're going to be able to mitigate this going forward? Like, how
I'll just not,
write anything.
I'll just not involve work in anything. And even like if I'm going to even involve work, it's not going to be like on a company. Like I'm not going to reference anything that has to do with the company like directly. Maybe my colleague, for example, or things like that. Maybe
Okay.
But yeah, so that was my week.
Okay. All right. Cool. That makes sense.
It was all right.
So let's go into the topic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So backstory. First of all, you guys listening, you guys all heard the Koza gist now, right? You heard if you've not heard the Koza gist, Jemima, give us backstory.
Why should I give you a backstory? If you're talking about it and say, so backstory. So you guys, I know everybody heard the Koza gist. So just continue.
I mean, what if they've not heard the gist?
You give them the gist now.
I don't understand. Like,
I don't feel
so, you know what's happening now, eh? Like, on the show, right, we do things like, we bounce things off each other. You get, like, I'll do the intro, then, you do the, what we are talking about today. You get, like, dynamic, hot dynamic right now. You understand? that vibe that people always say that we have. You're messing with it right now.
Just give the backstory. I really don't feel like talking about the back. I really don't feel like being the person to give the backstory.
Wow. Okay. It's only me that gets to be on this podcast last. But yeah, backstory. Koza. I don't know what the full meaning of Koza is, but it's in a church, and Biodun Fatoyinbo is the pastor, the founder, or general overseer, or whatever of the church, and he has a long, pretty long history of sexual harassment, allegations, all kinds of dark things that should not be mentioned in the realm of a man of God. And during the week, Timi Dakolo, popular gospel is he a gospel artist? I don't know. It's they sing It's Abi sing where
inspirational.
That's God Bless Nigeria. Wasn't that song? I fuck with it heavy. And that was the love song. He has one love song.
Heaven Please. Iyawomi.
Yes, Iyawomi. Yeah, Iyawomi is a fucking jam. That's the jam right there. Anyways, Timi Dakolo calls out via a series of subliminal messages on Instagram, calls out Biodun Fatoyinbo and the Koza congregation as a whole, and just Christians in general. And like he dragged everybody. And, it sparked a debate on social media as usual, as these things do. And people are all up in their panties. People that are fans of Biodun Fatoyinbo are coming and, saying their bit. People that are fans of Koza or, church members at Koza, are also saying their bit. People that are on the Alte/woke side of things are saying their bits. People that are atheist, anti-religious, are saying their thing. So everybody is, there's a whole different kind of takes. For a bit of more context, Koza is like a massive church, right? They have branches all over the country, in Dubai, London, several places. And Biodun Fatoyinbo is known to do like Gucci head to toe on the pulpit and drive Porsches and expensive cars and things like that. And so that's basically the backstory.
Yeah, so Koza is the Commonwealth of Zion Assembly.
Right.
The Commonwealth
of Zion. Commonwealth. Yeah, that part is
keyword.
Keyword in the SUNG.
Keyword. I think for me, what these incidents just sparked up in my head is how religious are Nigerians? Like, how do Nigerians take religion? Like, it's almost as if, for the greater part, they take it as the thing. They see it as the thing. Like, they just feel like, if I'm a Christian, then it automatically gives me the pass to say certain things or do certain things certain way. And then they also see it as a way of life. I mean, I get that it can be a way of life, but what really gets me is how people are more in tune with religious doctrines.
I think the reason why that is and beyond just Nigerians or Africans or just religion as a concept, period. I think the reason why that exists is because religion, the idea, the way it's designed, taps into a core human need for social interaction, a need for fellowship,
Togetherness, yeah.
Bonding. And then I was listening to the Brilliant Idiots podcast during the week, and they had this guy, Humble the Poet, on. And he's a rapper, writer, blah, blah, blah. And he was talking about how religions like Christianity, Islam, Judaism, they are linear in the sense that they start somewhere where, you're a sinner, whatever. Then if you do X, and X things, it ends somewhere, heaven or hell, whatever. So it's a start to finish thing. Meanwhile, religions like Hinduism and Buddhism, they are cyclical. So, like, there's always an afterlife. Like, if this form ends, the doctrine is that you move on to, like,
the other life.
So they were talking about like in India, they have caste systems, and because of the way those caste systems work, is that like if, for example, now you belong to a caste, and a caste, their thing is throwing away garbage, right? And you belong to B, and I belong to B caste, right? And our thing is cutting trees, right? Like someone from A caste cannot come into, like, you cannot come and start cutting trees. Like my family, my generation, my tribe, the whole shit, trees. That's it. Same thing for you, right? So it creates like the idea that you can't, like, even if you are this thing in this life, you can be X thing in your next life and another thing in the other life, and so on and so forth. But so the reason why religion has that kind of stranglehold on us is that, like, one, it taps on like our need for togetherness, fellowship, all of that stuff. Two, it also offers a God, a judgmental God that we cannot physically experience, right? So, for example, the law, right, the Constitution says that if you steal, X thing will happen to you. So you know that, like, that's real time consequence. Like, something's going to happen. This is what will happen, right? But this one, okay, God will be angry at you. That also means that your whatever consequence of your actions is not going to be immediate. Do you understand? So it's not like, oh, if I lie right now, Thunder's going to strike me right now. Do you understand? Like, it's so it taps into those sensibilities, and as such, it's the perfect doctrine or ideology for people to just like. So when pastors say stuff, like, whatever that pastor is saying is gospel, because there's the belief that this person is here under the anointing or whatever of God,
a supreme
being. So they have something, or they know something, or some things that we don't. And this is very, very critical, because when people are defending pastors, I'm like, you don't say bad thing about pastor, kiniko. It backfires, because if in the office when this whole thing blew up, one of my colleagues was saying that if Dangote should sleep with somebody and impregnates somebody that is not married to, that, like, nobody will make noise. They'll say, he has money, kiniko. But if...
Why do you keep saying kiniko?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Is that part of your vocab now?
Yes, so the Yoruba in me is jumping out.
Oh, wow.
But as I was saying, if Dangote should do something like that, people will say, he has money, blah, blah, it's fine. But if a pastor should do that, people will come and say, but, like, they are both human beings. And I'm like, yes, they are both human beings, but the difference is they exist in different contexts, right?
And people see them in different lights.
Exactly. You exist, as a pastor, you exist in the whole church, Bible, holy, moral side of things.
Yeah.
So, therefore, we should approach you, interact with you based on that.
On that. Exactly.
Like, you can't just
I get what you're saying.
Somebody's a human being and like just remove everything they stand for. Like, that makes no sense. Like, if you are a customer service agent, I can't expect you to, like, build a dope ass mansion. That would
Right.
be ridiculous, right? But I would expect you to, give A+ service in
Customer relation.
Do you get?
Yeah.
So that makes sense because you have to approach people, judge things, and look at situations based on
In certain
context, and
ways.
things they represent. So
Me.
all of that to say, religion is the perfect placebo. Do you know what a placebo is?
No, what's a placebo?
It's like this thing that they do for kids. That it may be like a pill that has no taste or something, but like the actual drug is inside.
Is
You know
in-
when they say put
Oh,
the
okay.
medicine,
Yes.
put the medicine in the poison. I put the poison. I don't know how they, that thing, sha. So medicine is like the perfect placebo. It gives people the avenue to like detach from their.
You said medicine is a perfect placebo.
Yeah.
You meant religion is a perfect placebo.
Yeah.
Me, I think that people, if the idea of heaven or hell didn't exist, I don't think that people would be as religious as they are currently.
If they exist or if they
If
don't
they don't
exist.
exist, as if they don't exist.
But we don't
if
know
they
that
don't-
they exist though.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, we already, because of, and I think we should mention that when we're talking about religion here, we're focusing on Christianity. Right?
Are we?
Because, are we not?
Let's just say we're just talking about just the idea of religion is believing in something and a set of
Different.
doctrines.
Exactly. Okay.
Right?
So that's which is what I was talking about. That if that doctrine or if that teaching that heaven or hell didn't exist or exist as the case may be, people would not be as vested as they are in religion, because people do things now based on the fact that if I do this thing, or if I'm a good person, or if I go to church, if I listen to my pastor, if I don't challenge my pastor, which is also, touch not my anointed and whatever, the end goal at the end of the day is for me to make heaven. So they do things that are quote unquote irrational or make stupid points. Like the people that were coming to make points backing the pastor. I mean, this thing is clearly wrong. This pastor is clearly doing this thing, because this is not the first time that we're going to hear about Pastor Biodu in the news about, in this light. But then other people were still, it was interesting to me that people were still siding him and bringing out logic to it, that, you know what, oh yeah, you can do it, but the Bible says, touch not my anointed,
First of
do my
all-
prophet no harm,
First
and
of
all
all,
of that.
when whatever they said Biodun Fatoyinbo did,
He did that shit.
he did that shit, bro.
But you
He
cannot make
fucking
such
did
bold
that.
statement.
Man, I don't care. See, let me tell you something, yeah.
Wait, before we go, how, like, personally, in your, what is your religious background?
Well, so I don't consider myself a religious person currently. I would say I am spiritual, right? But I had a heavy, when I say heavy, like a heavy Christian background, like heavy. I was
What,
like,
your
my
mom was
mom
a
is
pastor?
a pastor.
Oh,
Yes, my mom is a pastor. So there's that. So it's always like, and my mom had like a very weird Christian journey. She went from Cele to like one of this one-man church, and then and they ended up in RCCG. So like growing up, like the whole thing, baptism.
Oh, so you've been baptized?
I'm kidding. Workers in training. I was a worker. I've been in fact, growing up, I was in the teenagers mass choir of the Redeemed Christian Church of God.
Oh, okay.
Guy, see, you don't know anything. I have background. Teenagers mass choir, regional mass choir. Worked as a worker. I've been an usher, Sunday school teacher. I've been in welfare departments.
Oh.
Also, so I've done like the whole. Do you understand? The whole thing. And
Wait,
like,
one question. Like, throughout this journey, is this how your hair was? Because
Of course not.
what would the church say right now?
Of course not. No.
What
Like
would the
at
church
all.
say?
I mean, now I still like. There's a tattoo on my, what used to be a tattoo on my left wrist, and when just after I got it, anytime I go to church, my mother would be like, if I wear anything short sleeve, she'll be like, no, what? No, not sleeve. Everybody marry. So like, for that period of time, like I was always wearing short sleeve to church because nobody must know that I have tattoo,
Long
because
sleeve.
my mother is.
The pastor.
You
So,
get.
so it's safe to say that you're religious. Like you're like the average
I had a religious heavy upbringing.
upbringing.
Yeah.
Mine is not totally the opposite, but kind of opposite, because in my house, like my mom is religious. My mom is like very vested in church. Growing up as well, my dad didn't used to stay with us for like a long period of time. So it was not easy to tell. Like it was not clear to tell if he was
Remind me to
religious
talk
or
about
not.
my dad.
If he was religious or not. But one thing that I grew up learning about religion is it's your choice.
Boom.
It's your choice. Like my mom would say, you should pray, you should go to church because gathering of the faithful or whatever, and then just like what you said earlier about togetherness. There's just something about being in church, like this sanctuary is just like the atmosphere is just perfect. So even if you're not going for anything, like for the fact that this, perfect atmosphere or environment exists for you to connect with God, then you should totally do. So it was not like, oh, you have to go to church.
Oh,
follow
mine
me
was
to
you
church,
have to. You
do
better
this or that.
fucking
So you
wake
can.
up.
But and then because of that freedom, a lot of us, like me and my siblings, were able to choose between, oh, I really want to go to be a church person, or I don't want to be a church person. But then one thing is key, that there is a supreme being, and then you should do the right thing, like act accordingly and be Christ-like, which is what Christianity is about anyway. Like be selfless, love your neighbor as yourself, do things because that is what you should do. Like it's good to be a good person. Do things because you have to do it because you want to be a good person to yourself and then to the society. So my own religious background was really on that skill.
Yeah, I feel like the point where I stopped being so religious was when I just figured out that like you don't necessarily need religion to like be a good person or to do good
but
things.
People don't get that
nice.
Because that is what they now base their principles on.
And that's also why people feel the need to like defend pastors
exactly,
and
ridiculous
stuff
things. Because if you're in your right senses, I think somebody was saying that logic and religion or Christianity, as the case may be, cannot coexist. Like it's like, because there are things that are just illogical. Like a pastor is telling you to sow seed of 1 million naira. Just a few days ago, my friend was telling me that there was a friend of ours when we were in school, university, that wanted to use our school fees to sow a seed in one popular church. Like your school fees to buy a land and sow a seed. So like, to that person now, what exactly did she think is going to happen? God is going to send manna from above, or
God
like
will
they
send
just do illogical things.
God will send somebody to help now. That's the thing. But I don't know. I just feel like it's weird how like dependent we are on religion. Like it's actually very, very insane. Especially in communities like ours, like in Nigeria, like everything is. Do you know that Nigeria is actually a secular state? Like according to the law, like we are not Christian or Muslim.
But we think
right?
we're like the most.
But if you go to government offices when they are doing somebody's inauguration, imam will come and pray, pastor will come and pray their own. You get, and then these people really just they just be taking people for idiots, to be honest. Like you hear some stuff and you're just like, what? Like look at that Reverend King thing. Like, do you remember that Reverend King?
That was burning people alive.
Like what part of your brain made you think that it was okay for a human being like you to say that I'm going to pour kerosene or petrol or whatever on you and burn you alive because like they're not your father, they're not your mother. Like what exactly did they invest in your life that you think it's okay for them to do this? Like you see videos every time now all over the continent. You see videos of pastors doing ridiculous things. That's how one came and said he raised somebody from the dead.
So I think if people don't see you as being some sort of authority, they would they'll be like, who the fuck are you? Like if you say something that is wrong, they will want to challenge you.
But that's the thing though, like about religion. Religion needs authority figures. Right? In Islam you have the imams, you have this, that, Kinikon. I know, Kinikon again. And in Christianity, you have Pope, you have.
So the authority figures are supposed to lead you.
No, but the way the thing is designed is that like these authority figures, what they represent is that as God is not on earth himself, right? He like whatever he wants to do here, those people are his conduits. He does it through them. That is the idea. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, ideally, when that is the case, these people are supposed to treat that role with a certain kind of responsibility, right? But what happens is, again, human beings are human beings, so they always tend to take advantage.
So they abuse
of stuff.
the role.
So they abuse the roles, and then the people that they are supposed to lead don't know better. Do you understand?
Yeah, because they're just following them.
Exactly, they just function on this. The idea is just, if I do XXX, by the time I'm dead, I'll get this reward, right? Same thing with people that build themselves up, all that shit, right? Now, to do XXX, God has placed Mr. or Mrs. A or B to direct me or to guide me or to tell me how it should be done. They forget that in reality, you have a direct link to the nigga by yourself. Like, you don't need you don't need a middleman. Do you get? So that's why these people hold so much power, and people don't know any better. I just feel that like it's just a failure of like just the human psyche. Like you just allow ridiculous things, like how will a pastor that has his own wife come and tell you that if he needs to sleep with your own wife so that she will have kids, and you agree and you believe? Like, I don't understand. Like, does he have like super saiyan sperm or what? Like
sperm from above.
Do you get like what's happening? Like all kinds of ridiculous things. And the thing is, anybody that comes out to say that you should not call pastors out, fuck you, and you dey craze, and I go punish you because something they worry you for head. No, seriously, because think about it. Pastors already exist. Like, they live with a certain kind of privilege. They get free gifts. People treat them like, everybody respects pastors. They'll be bowing.
Wait, answer.
Whatever. Whether they are male or female, I don't really give a shit, right? All these religious leaders live in certain with certain privileges.
Yeah.
She understands. So now when you start abusing those privileges, right, it's just like a president, right? They pay him a shit ton of money, salary every month. He drives bulletproof car around, there's a helicopter plane, all these things. Like, he lives with a certain privilege. That's why people are like, yo, what's happening to the economy? What's happening with this? What's happening with that? Right? Same thing with a religious leader. You live with a certain privilege, and with great power comes what?
Great responsibility.
Responsibility. So people need to approach you and interact with you based on that as well. Like, you can't just say, oh, he's a human being, or is this, or is that. And besides, people that want to quote the Bible and say, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm, right? Nowhere in the Bible did they say that if somebody is committing sin, you should be encouraging them to keep committing the sin. Nowhere. Anybody that has such passage, please send us email, theshrinepodcast@gmail.com. I'm very, very interested to see it. Thank you very much.
I think we need to start telling people that it's okay to hold religious leaders accountable.
Yeah, of course. It's like, we don't even need to tell them. Like, they should know that in their own gumption.
I mean, they don't know it because, the way the immediate environment and what they understand Christianity or religion or that person to be. Yeah. And you just mentioned touch not my anointed. People are so quick to throw that around. Like, oh, you cannot say this about pastors because, they are the anointed ones.
Dragging. Drag
and all of
destiny.
that. But I mean, it's okay for you to challenge them. It's okay for you to talk. Even if I would even imagine that people who attend COSA should be the ones talking about the pastor, like that pastor building, chastising him and, some more, because you, in quote and unquote, live in his space, like you worship in his church.
Did you see the stories that, like, people that were saying that, this lady on Twitter, Mochivious, she tweeted about how, like, she originally used to go there. And fun fact, I actually used to go to COSA when I was in the University of Illinois. And the single reason why I went to COSA at that time was because, people went to church. Think about it, like, with my kind of upbringing. People went to church in mini skirts, like, like guys had like earrings on, like it was a free for all basically. So it was like, and the service now like turn up, like gospel turn up. So why not? Anyways, Mochiva was talking about how, like, she used to attend the church as well before, and she thought it was cool and whatever. And she used to defend, the pastor back then. And then she started to hear stories, which was why she dipped and left. So, like, that is a situation where she didn't know better, but when she was presented with other information. She looked at it and she figured like, yo, this is not
I
a
need to
good
take a walk.
situation for me to be in.
Yeah.
Right? And that is what other people need to be doing. Like
Somebody-
in your house, if in your house, your father or your mother or somebody that has a certain role in your life does something wrong, will you feel some type of way about it or not? Will you hold them accountable or responsible for that thing or not? Same thing applies. Like, they always try to make God up to be like this uptight asshole motherfucker. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's God. Like, like God is love. Is that not what they always say?
That's what they say now.
Do you understand? So, like, why are we now?
People start embracing that God is love from the angle of I can relate with God by myself, or I can speak to God myself, I can pray to God myself, I can ask God for things myself without going through the pastor. Then they will start to understand that, you know what, these pastors, what did they even do anyways?
Do you
Like,
get?
what do they do?
Like, what is their purpose? What is their function?
They're supposed to teach you the
Is it
word.
miracle? Because the Bible says that we can all do miracles.
I mean,
So, I mean, what exactly is it?
like the Bible literally said, yeah, I have given you power and authority to work on principalities and whatever. Anyways, that's Bible verse. So if you understand that and you know that you can do this, or you can just say, headache, be gone, and you can go without having to go meet the pastor.
You don't need pastor.
I was watching a video when one religious leader, a woman, was actually saying that people should not eat fish. That Titus, if you eat it, you can.
Oh yeah.
you go
That
to
one's
hell.
not a religious leader. That is not the religious. That woman
Took me out.
in one village with her dirty ass scarf. That was not religious leader.
But tell you what, people were listening to that.
Hell yeah, bro. If you are going to work, just pass through Ojuelegba, like on Monday morning. You see people front of somebody's shop. They will have like 10 chairs. The service is going on like on a Monday morning, and it always bugs me. It's like, or some people, those churches that do service on Sunday, and they do vigils on Sunday evening, Sunday nights. I'm like, is it that you are not employed, or like,
Don't you have work?
like how does it work exactly? So I've actually forgotten what I was talking about. But yeah, like people do ridiculous things for a religion, and you guys just see whatever it is. That I'm not judging you for being a Christian, for believing in the things that you believe
like,
in.
live your truth.
Like, live your truth, right? But at the same time, don't be stupid about it.
Yeah, don't be stupid
you
about
get,
it.
Like, you know,
Know that this thing is right and know that this thing is wrong.
you get. And also, if somebody does not believe in the doctrines of your church or does not believe in Christianity, like, it's fine. Like, don't come and be shoving your shit down my throat, man. Like
Allow me
do
leave.
you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Like, can I breathe? So you guys just chill, and
We
you
can't
know,
blame. We can't blame a lot of people who take.
Do you see that video of that?
Up like that?
Do you see that video of that? Yeah, I feel like those people, they just don't know better. But do you see the video of that pastor that Oyinbo pastor that they were asking why does he drive jet and stuff? And
No.
You didn't see that video? Oh shit! I'll show you later. The guy was basically he looked like he was high as fuck on cocaine, and he could not defend any question that was being asked. Simply, you know, why are you living your life of luxury as a preacher? The Bible does not, you know, assert this
It's not
ideology.
correlating, with what the Bible
Why do you need
stands for.
private jets and all these things? And he was just yarning a ton of bullshit that makes no sense. That does not relate to anything. You get, and he kept referring to, because the lady that was interviewing him was, it was a lady that was interviewing him, and he kept saying things like sweetheart and baby, and I was so cringe. It was like, ugh, what the fuck? Chill. You know, and apparently somebody tweeted and said that that guy is who Oyedepo says is his mentor. So I'm like, okay.
Let's not even go into that.
Okay, sis. But these people are also human beings. The long and short of what we are saying here today is that these people are also human beings.
Yeah.
And even
They
though
can be called out.
yes, they can be called out. And even though they may say, or the idea is that they have more spiritual enlightenment than you also have your own personal spiritual journey to go, whether you're a Christian, Muslim, whatever religion you practice, even if it's idol that you worship. You have your own spiritual journey to go through, and the onus is on you
To go through it.
to read your Bible and seek understanding, read your Quran, seek understanding by yourself. Let your conscience lead you and guide you. You do not need any religious leader to lead a successful or prosperous spiritual life.
Okay, philosopher Akindare.
Awani.
And
Thanks very much.
we have come to the end on
Have
this
we?
podcast.
Is that all?
Yes.
You don't have anything else on your mind to hash out? Let's have it. No?
No, but I want to ask you a question though.
Real quick, okay.
Real quick. What are like the top 5 phrases that you use often?
Phrases
Yeah.
or words?
Phrases, not words. Phrases.
Man.
Okay, let me do word.
Words, right?
Top 5 words.
Words is easier for that. I can't think. Well, number 1 is fuck. That's number 1. And like I say fuck at least maybe like 100 times every. No, 100 is a bit too much. Maybe like 10 times every other day. Like every blessed day.
10 times. No, it should be. Do you know how many times you said fuck?
On the podcast?
Yes, we will listen to it. Like if you're listening to this, just count
You know
the number
what?
of times Akindare has said fuck.
You know, when we start making a video version of the podcast, maybe we'll be having like a fuck counter, like just on the side of the screen. I'll be saying how many times Akindare has said fuck. But yeah, I say fuck a lot. I say shit. You know what? My top 5 words that I say the most would probably just be curse words. I feel like.
So you can
Because I
say
curse at, if they can diagnose it as a medical condition, we need problem. We need serious problem, honestly.
do you think like you're frustrated? That's why you curse a lot.
I mean, I used to have anger issues. So I guess part of my way of coping with that is just like letting it out with my words. Fuck this fucking shit. Nigga.
Do you have road rage? I feel like when you're driving, you're just like, who the fuck? What
I'm
the
one of
fuck?
I'm
Get
one-
the fuck.
that actually happens. Like I actually go like, get the fuck out of the way. Or I'll say so like sometimes I'm one of those people that like after I've shouted and I've ranted on my own in the car, then I'll just be like, she not going. Just face front and be going. But like I try not to like. I'm not one of those people that like maybe somebody scratches me and the next thing instead of like sorting it out, I'll not carry my car and go and jam their own. No.
Okay.
Nothing like that. But
So
yeah.
Akindare is a recovering, angry Nigerian man.
Angaholic.
Okay,
Hey,
guys,
I'm trying
thank
out
you for
check.
listening to us.
What about your own?
Oh no, I just said I was gonna ask you.
So I cannot ask you back.
No.
So only you
Some
can
other
ask
time.
questions.
Yeah, only me. So
Women
guys,
are
thank you
scum,
for
guys.
listening to our episode today. We hope you
Thank you for
enjoyed it.
listening.
If you have any comments, you want to talk about, religion, you have something to say about what
Let
we're
us know your
talking
thoughts
about
on
today.
religion, actually.
Yep. Send us an email, theshrinepodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter is The Shrine Pod and Instagram is theshrine.pod.
Let us know what you think, what you want to hear. If there are any things that you think we should talk about, if you think Jemima needs to get the fuck off this podcast and have just me, also let us know. All right? We love
This
y'all.
is what I said on the previous episode.
Atikbo. Moving on.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you guys for
guys.
listening.
Peace out.
Adios.